every one of them. I mean, when you lose in double overtimes and overtimes, I can tell you the plays. The field goal at South Dakota State. But after that, we had a couple opportunities to win in overtime. We had 2 passes we had guys wide open. The North Dakota State game, we had 2 critical penalties happen and a broken leg, all within about 30 seconds of each other, that swung that football game. You go in the Dome against South Dakota. You know, that we had 2 penalties in the last 5 minutes of the drive when they tied the game that were, you know, that was, if you remember, there was a third down play that was 3rd and 8, it's 3rd and 14, and it was going to be 4th and 2, and they called unnecessary roughness on a tackle, which made that about a 35-yard play, and that was the final drive. So you put those together, and those are just little things. You know, you can go on and on about each one when you're playing overtime football games. I don't even know what we lost by total. If you looked at the end of regulation play, how many points did we actually lose by?
1 in that 4-game losing streak.
So we
point to North Dakota State.
So we lost 1 point to North Dakota State, and we lost by 7. How much did we lose by to Illinois State?
13-3.
13-3. So that's 11 points. So we lost by 11 points in 5 games. So when you really weigh it, I mean, you ask that question, I mean, you can probably tag 100 things on those games that would have swung any one of them back in your favor.
I know this is a disappointing result, not getting into the playoffs, but obviously this has been a very gratifying time in terms of the character and will of this team to fight through the injuries, to fight through the disappointment in the middle of the season to finish strong.
No, I appreciate you asking it that and in that way, because it's what he mentioned was exactly what happened on this football team. Is we went through we were in spiral. We went through a hard time in that middle section, and it really kind of tested everybody from the fan to the coach to the player of how they were going to respond to this, because none of us had experienced this. And I thought our team did an outstanding job. I really believed this. If we won one, we'd win the rest. It was which one we were going to get out of the hole, because that's the kind of hole you're in. It was just, you had to fight your way out of it. But as soon as you won one, I figured we'd win the rest out. And when we got the final one, that's what turned it. And from then on, good things happened to us, and we kept making good things happen for us. But very pleased with this football team being able to handle that at that time, and then to play the way they did, and even from the trip to Missouri State, everything was still going good. That didn't faze them, like normally it won. But had we not won by that final kick against Youngstown, I don't know if we would have been able to overcome that at Missouri State. It was just kind of breaking that barrier that came about, and very pleasing they did that. That's why this was a very resilient team, and they did things that you hope a UNI team would represent, in my opinion, and playing the way they did through that stretch, and then getting themselves in a position to win the last 3.
Of the guys you got coming back,